first.
First down, San Francisco.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And now Jackson will look to throw it toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Jackson. Deep ball for Goodwin. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the 1st quarter.
Too many ones in this play. 1st quarter, 1st drive, 1st interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. After the interception, here's Jackson looking for the end zone. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. McCaffrey on the counter. And some room to work. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
Check, 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 check. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip. Out, 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 out. Ready, go.
A handoff, McCaffrey running right down to the 25.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Ready, break. Lock it. Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. No, no, no. Squeeze, squeeze, get in there. No.
He'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Buying time to his left. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. On 1st down, Taylor. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Taylor. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's complete to his speedy wideout, Goodwin.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's third down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Brian Burns racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. To the football, it's blocked. Now it's scooped up. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20, 10, 5, and the Panthers in for the score. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return, where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously, the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Check 26, check 26.
Here's Taylor. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Jackson, they'll find Taylor. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that is incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this will pin them nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. On the ground, McCaffrey. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, Wood. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 38. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, it created a big run. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Okay, break. 52. I got you. Pump. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
2nd and 10. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
60 Pittsburgh.
Now a shotgun handoff to Scarlett. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
52's the mic right here over there, right? 52's the mic. Pick me up. Here we go.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
52's the mic. That's the way.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Here's Jackson to throw. Brian Burns, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now Jackson back into his end zone. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15.
Watch the slant. No, Ringo.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go. Here we go.
2nd and 11. Man open, that's Ray McCloud. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Ready, go.
Back to throw now on 1st down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Set. 18 Gator. Hey. Echo. 39. Check Mike 39. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Here we go, D.
2nd and 13. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Zoom, fellas, let's go. Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Hot.
He'll look to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Bird to return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now Taylor. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get him into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And that's why you spend a 1st-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Throwing is Jackson. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor. Michael Brocker's in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Drop deep, drop deep. 51 to Mike, boys.
Jackson now. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Jackson now on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting. He's able to convert for 3.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down again. DeForest Buckner in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Chop, crunch, crunch, Leo, slam, Jim, just said hot, ready.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to look deep for more. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
You got nothing. 51's the mic. Go, go, go. 51's the mic. 51's the mic.
Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Goodwin able to haul it in. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And this one is right down the middle. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker.
They'll keep it on the ground. Again, it's Wood. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the...
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow.
The Niners take over first down at their own 24-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need the last case. Let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Deep ball for Goodwin. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Here's Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Again, Jackson. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. He'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Panthers have the 1st. It's a gain of 12. When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, and then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice. And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, his 5th touchdown now on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score.
Set, ready. 10 Tucson. In your face. Ready,
this is Scarlett on the carry. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Shoot! Check 13! Check 13! Check! You're out! Hot! Shoot!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. He'll run it. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, not much there that time. And I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
Ready. 70 in. Sam on. Get that.
2nd and 9 now. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. DeForest Buckner in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Sad Hut, 60 outlaw. Yep. Watch the twist. Check 50. Check 52's the mic. Here we go. 52's the mic, boys. 52. And what happened?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and that'll move them back within 6 now. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing.
They'll go again with Sanders. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check 59, Mike.
He finds Beckham complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check 31, check 31.
This is Henderson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Coming to you, coming to you. Show it up, show it up.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson, man open, it's Goodwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now it's Jackson. And this one's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Jackson will throw again. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. To throw again is Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. Well, that was almost a 4-point swing, the interception. If he had returned it all the way, would have been 2 for them, but just a little bit shy.
And when it's a play like that, you're exactly right with the math. But don't you feel like it would have counted for more if they found their way all the way back to the end zone and gotten the 2? That changes the whole momentum, doesn't it?
At their own 27-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
Time right. Alert. 3 down. Squeeze. Get in there. Kill. Go on.
Second and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. On first down, it's Henderson. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Taken down at the 43-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 43-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They run once more with Henderson, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A first down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Derek Barnett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He's going to go for a big play. He's got a man complete. Thomas barreling ahead. Oh, the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Scarlett. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, You can't have those kind of plays.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this.
And now here is another interception. Read it well, and it's picked. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Henderson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a 1st. Jackson from the shotgun. Flush to his right. And he will go down with a sack, trying to get away but could not. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right, and inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Back to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Now Wood. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Gano the extra point as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And now hang on here. The door, can you hear it? It's a little open.
Or is that the squeaky hinges that I'm hearing right now? Yeah, the door.
Is that too high pitch?
No, not at all. The door is open a little bit. It's almost like when you told those horror stories on the camping trip, right? And now, look out.
Yeah.
We got a little bit different look on the game at this point.
Big momentum swing here in the 4th on the punt fumble. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going.
52, 152. Blue there, blue there. Let's go.
They'll look to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Give him 18. It's a Carolina 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Scarlett. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
Big series right here. We got to step it up. 52 is the mic right here over there, right? 52 is the mic.
You're out. Check. Switch.
Back to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 43. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's go. Ken Lobo.
He'll look to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
It makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he gets in just in the nick of time, so they get the touchdown they need. Now they need a two-point conversion to tie it. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
They'll set up a throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So 15 ticks remaining as they line up for the onside kick. And it's the 49ers who recover it, and that ought to just about do it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Brings up second and 11 at the 48-yard line.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and this not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer Tim Karen said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard Time. Try to psychologically tell us what to do, as well as prepare our bodies the same way.
So for the 49ers, the win gets them to 5-9 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got